This is Pete Buchanan, founder and director of instruction with Plain Simple Golf. And what I've got here today for you is the description and a video recap of Dr. Jeremy Maxwell, who is TPI certified, who we with Plain Simple Golf have been working with over the last 5 weeks, not only with the TPI program that Dr. Maxwell has, but also on his own individual golf game. And we'd like to show you the progress he's made over the last 5 weeks, using not only instruction from Plain Simple Golf, but also 4 or 5 sessions with the K-Trainer, part of the TPI program. And these K-Trainer sessions, roughly 15 or 20 minutes at a time, we pre-programmed positions for the Plain Simple Golf swing into the K-Trainer. And Dr. Maxwell has been working with that and also working with us with individual lessons over the 5-week period. And we'd just like to give you an idea and to show you the progress that's been made with what's been going on. If we look at the video on the left-hand side, we'll take that at the start. The tendency for Dr. Maxwell, as he started off, was to have the posture bent too far forward at address from the waist. So you can see a 114-degree angle between his hips and back versus 128 on the right, which is the one that we now have after we made some adjustments. And with that 114-degree angle, it enhances or helps the shoulders to tilt, which is one of the things he was doing in the backswing. Had quite a bit of shoulder tilt and quite a bit of wrist hinge in the backswing. And as we move this away, you can see as he comes away from the golf ball, the golf club doesn't get in too bad a position here, but right away you can already see he's coming out of the posture that he set, and the golf club is going to start to get pretty vertical here. And so at the top of the golf swing, you can see that he's already stood up out of that original posture, which now, coming up in the air, he's got to replace that going back down, so that right shoulder has tipped going up, and that's going to tend to make the golf swing a little bit more vertical. And then as it comes back down, it's going to get pretty vertical coming into it. And at impact here, it forces the hands to try to get involved independently, because by nature a vertical golf swing would leave the face open. And so now he's using the hands to try to make that up, and then has a very vertical finish that it goes into the top part of the swing. That's just to give you a little history on where he started, and now we're going to try to run these two together so that you can see, based on the changes that we've made, the differences and how the two swings are now looking as we take them away and work them. And we'll just go right from the start. We'll get both of these golf clubs to where they're going to start away from the ball, and then we'll run these two together, and you can start to see the differences. And as we come away from the golf ball, we're just going to notice that you saw Dr. Maxwell swing a little bit on the left before as it comes away, and we'll just keep these caught up a little bit. We'll get them both to where the club's about parallel to the ground. You can see the golf club on the right's a little bit more inside, but it's a little bit more together, definitely more of a shoulder turn, and staying directly in the same posture that it was. And you can see on the left-hand side, he's starting to move out of it. And so as we continue on here and begin to move higher up towards the top of the swing, you can definitely see a difference in the shaft plane. It's a little bit more vertical on the one on the left. And as we come up to about the top portion of the swing here, we're going to move the one on the left until the total top of the backswing right there. Now we're going to move the one on the right to match it. And you can see a definite difference in the lengths of the swing. But what you see there is Dr. Maxwell has been able to maintain that posture angle from the beginning up to the top of the swing, and where you can see the one on the left-hand side, he's actually come out of that posture a little bit. The back has stood up more than it was. And on the right-hand side, again, you'd look at the swing, and the old adage was to have a full backswing, the club has to be parallel to the ground in the target line at the top of the swing. Well, what really constitutes a full swing is how well the upper body turns against the lower body, and Dr. Maxwell has got a full turn going on with the body, and the golf club should be set in the position it is. It shouldn't be parallel to the target line. If he kept his width and kept the golf club in the right position and reduced the hinge in that backswing, which is one of the things we like to concentrate on as far as the backswing goes, you can see the golf club will finish just a little bit short of what the old adage of full was. By no means is it incorrect at all. So now as we start the downswing, we're going to see a little bit of difference here too. As the golf club begins to come down, Dr. Maxwell is able to maintain the posture and stay in that posture that he's got on the right hand side all the way into impact, and you can see a definite difference in here coming in. The golf club posture position on the right is exactly identical to what it was at address. The hips are square, the shoulders are square at impact, and you can see on the left from the original video, the hips are open, the shoulders are open, and the back has a bow or bend in the spine as it's coming into impact. So a definite change, and that's very hard to time and maintain a consistent flow of a golf swing when you're coming out of the setup that you were in. So you can see a much different posture in the improvements on the right hand side. And as we follow through to the finish, you're going to see the golf club on the left finishing very high up in the air, and the one on the right hand side, after 5 weeks, is coming more on a good plane. And you can even see this picture right here, how well maintained the posture is for Dr. Maxwell on the right hand side, and on the left the spine has a little bit of a bend in it, and the golf club is pretty much up in the air, and the shoulders are much more of a tilt. So that's the things we've noticed just from a posture standpoint. And now we're going to bring these clubs back to the beginning, and we're going to work on just a little bit of the swing plane and show you the differences we've made and where the golf club rests as far as the plane of the swing goes. And we'll go in and just draw a nice little plane line right up right at the shaft. That's about 55 degrees here, so we're going to draw another one that goes right through his elbow at the same angle degree. And then we'll go over here to this one. This one sits at about 54, and so we'll go right to the elbow here on the same degree angle. And now we just want to watch these two swings as far as taking them in the backswing now and see where they go relative to the true swing plane, which is based off the initial shaft plane at address. And that's why that line is drawn on it. So as you come back here, you're going to see as we go into the backswing. Now, the only difference in this video is the video on the right was taken at a slight angle. It's not totally behind Doc, but that's okay. We're going to see a vast difference and where that golf club goes. And as we move along here, we're going to get these two about the same position as they're coming away. And you can see right in here, the video on the left has the club staying a little bit into the line. Doc's is a little bit below the line on the right-hand side. It's only due to it's a slight bit of an angle with it. Will be more on that line as it's coming back. But you can see a definite difference in where the shoulders are. There's much more turn already going on the improved 5-week ahead swing on the right versus the one on the left. And so they're getting into a different position already. So we're going to continue to move on. And we'll get to the club just to where it's about parallel to the ground for both. And you can see a definite difference in what we have here as far as where the arms are positioned and where the shoulders are positioned as it's coming back. Now as we continue, about shoulder high is where we're going to stop the next one. You can already see a big difference in what's going on now. You can see the extra hinge going on the swing on the left. It's beginning to hinge up in the air and get a little bit more vertical. And as it goes up to the shoulder, you're going to start to see a position that gets more and more vertical on the left-hand side. We'll stop these both when they're right on the just about the shoulder height, and you can see Doc still has the club shaft on the right in between the two lines, and it's already rising above that line on the video on the left. And so a much better turn and the club position as it's coming from the swing on the right-hand side. So now let's just take it up to the top of the backswing, and we'll stop it for both golf clubs. This one we have to go just a few more frames to get it to the top, and you can see a big difference in where everything is and how much more up in the air the arms have gotten on the left. So now I think what you're really going to see here is coming in the downswing, you'll see a little bit of a difference and what's going to happen as they come down. We'll run these together. We'll just catch them both up so they're both coming down at the same time. And you can see a definite difference as they're starting to come down. The video on the left is staying very vertical. It's staying outside the two original lines, so it's got a lot of steepness in it, a lot of vertical nature. Whereas the one on the right is dropping into that nice place with the arms swinging it down and coming in right in between the two lines, right back down on that nice plane angle. And as we get into impact, you're going to see a big difference when these two clubs come into contact. On the right, the shaft is nearly parallel to the same line it was when it started, so it's returned back to its original position on the same plane, whereas the video on the left beforehand is very vertical. It's coming a little bit steep, which in turn would leave the face more open, and so there's always going to be an extra hand motion at the bottom to have to work that. to get that club face to square up, and a total timing issue. You can see a definite difference in how it's coming in here when it begins to release on the other side, and how the arms go through, and you'll get a real good picture right here as to what's happening. Video on the right has come back on the same plane. It's parallel to the original swing plane line, so we're making a nice parallel motion on each side, staying on the swing plane, and the video on the left is coming very vertical. And it's once again due to the original posture, and that original posture had a little bit of weight back on his heels, which would tend to make anybody tip, because you can't balance very well when you're starting off on your heels. But as we come into the finish, the club on the right, the finish of that swing is pulling the body around, and you can see how much more extra motion and hand and hinge action there is on the left. And so it's a swing that when Doc first started off, it had a lot of motion with the shoulders tipping up and down and tilting, and a lot of extra hand and wrist action, which makes it very difficult to time to hit consistent shots. So we've reduced the tipping action by getting into a better posture and allowing the body to turn, and now making the body work as it should work, and turning back and forth with the upper and lower halves working together, and the lower half is a solid base, and now allowing the arms to swing the club on a nice parallel plane to the original line and address. And so a much improved area, and we're just going to put this now as one, and we'll just put this right in the middle and have a nice swing in between here. And again, just watch this golf swing where the posture has begun to solidify what's going on. Very stable with the lower half. The upper half turns against it, allowing the arms to set the club in a great position at the top. And now the arms are free to swing. It's like that old balsa wood airplane with a red propeller and a rubber band. The propeller is the club, and so the rubber band's been wound up, the propeller's at the top, and now it's free to let that propeller go. The arms can swing that golf club down, which will release that propeller, and as that club swings through the body, as it's wound up again, the rubber band begins to unwind, and now the arms can freely swing through the golf club and swing on a great swing plane, allowing a much more repeatable swing, much more consistent ball flight and contact, and a much more enjoyable swing. If you ask Doc, he'll tell you a lot less painful than he was doing when the body tips. It's not used to doing that. It can cause some pain, but now he's back to swinging and allowing the body to work as it should, as it's supposed to, and getting that golf club to swing freely in between for much more consistent shots. So now, if you have any questions about anything we do at Plain Simple Golf or anything that Dr. Maxwell does, you can certainly get a hold of either of us. And plainsimplegolf.com, you can find links and everything to anything that you need between Dr. Maxwell. You'll see a link to his website on our website, and you can go on Facebook and look up Maxwell Family Chiropractic, or you can look that up online and get a hold of Doc. So I highly recommend anybody who's going to play a game of golf should get with Dr. Maxwell, not only from a physical side so he can evaluate you and see how you're doing, but also allowing you to get in and start to work on the K trainer, where you can now have some solid practice on moving yourself into the right positions, and get with Plain Simple Golf too to continue your lessons and take your golf game to a new level. So brain-body connection with Dr. Maxwell and performance swinging with the Plain Simple Golf Academy lesson programs will get you to improve your golf and lower your scores. Thanks a lot.